Okay. And share on Facebook. All right.
On this. So now we can. Okay, but we can't. We have to be here on this call. We cannot. So we're gonna put the.
You can mute yourself. There it is, Shwela. Very good.
So wonderful to have you all here. Thanks for joining us live. This is really fun. We love to have these sessions.
All right, ready? We're going live. Abby, will you check that we're live?
I will.
Hi.
I will.
Okay, everybody, hello.
Everyone.
And I'm delighted to see you. Olga just joined us. It's fun. And everybody, this 1 hour session, we have designed, Abby and I, with some input from Clive, a lot of input from Clive, because we want to create so much value for you that you just register in the 4-session seminar on self-expression that starts on July 10th. Okay? Now, if you choose not to register, we still love you and you will have a lot of value from this call. But I'm going to do everything in my power so that you are yearning for the seminar to start. Okay? So let's look first at the value. Yeah.
So sorry, super quick logistics. Everybody on live, this is Abby. You can't see my face, but I'm here. If you have questions or comments throughout, I am watching the Facebook Live, so feel free to engage with us. And everyone who's here with us on Zoom, it's the same. Feel free to use your chat or unmute if you want, and we'll have a conversation. Okay, go ahead, Sophie.
Okay, great. All right, so to start with, everybody, let's look at the benefits of being self-expressed, right? What do we mean by self-expression? And what are the benefits of being self-expressed? But the first thing, before I ask you to write down on your piece of paper or tell me what you think the benefits of self-expressions are, is that I want to dissipate false belief we have about self-expression. You know, just check with yourself. Have you been trying to speak more? Have you been trying to change your voice? Have you been trying to dress differently? Have you been trying to stand straighter? Have you been trying to smile more, right? Do you know this is mainly what people do to try to increase their self-expression. But the first thing I want to say to you is self-expression doesn't come from your human. So if you know me and you've worked with me, you know that my favorite quote is, you're not a human being having a soul, you're a soul having a human. Your self-expression, in fact, should be called your soul expression. Self-expression is only and always when you are your soul expressed through your human. Okay? So if you work uniquely on your human, you will always have breakdown and you will be like on a roller coaster up and down. So the way to reach constantly the benefits of self-expression is to really know that it means soul expression through your human. All right, so my question was, what are the main benefits that you reap from being soul expressed? You can just shout it out. What are the main benefits?
Freedom.
Freedom to be. Yeah, freedom to be, right? So it's very good, Pat. So freedom is not doing what you want, everybody, right? Freedom is being able to be yourself. That's what the freedom is. Okay, who else? What are the benefits? Yeah, Clive?
Joy.
Joy, definitely. Joy, right? Joy, very distinct from happiness. Happiness depends on the external world and on your circumstances. Joy is constant and connected to the spiritual. It's in the background, always there, never fluctuating. It's like a state of being joyful. All right, you get to co-create with the universe. That is one of the biggest reward of being soul expressed. You have access to intuition, guidance, universal knowledge. You channel the power of the universe, right? So that's a lot, right? Let me say them again. You co-create with the universe. What does that mean? Imagine the universe with this enormous, unimaginable power, and you're a co-creator. You tap into this power to create your human life. You have access to intuition, guidance, and universal knowledge, also called the Akashic memory. You do not feel separate and alone as a human. You are not only co-creating with the universe, but reaping the reward of being that connected. That's what I mean by universal power. So I'm going to give you 3 secrets, because I promised that I would give you 3 secrets to soul expression on this live that you can use anytime in your life. Okay, so the first one is you need to be able to reach a level of awareness where you get total clarity about when it is your human talking and when your speaking is sourced by your soul. So let me say it again. You need to get total clarity about when it is your character, your identity, your ego, your human that is speaking and driving the show, or when you're actually so connected to your soul that it is your soul speaking through your human. So let me give you an example. Do you know the difference between fear and anxiety? You need to be clear. Fear, totally normal. I know most people are frightened of fear. No, fear can be your best friend. Anxiety, on the other hand, will rob you of your power. You need to know the difference between intuition and automatic thinking and having thoughts. Okay? Let yourself hear the difference. Intuition, directly downloading from the spiritual, and having thoughts, your brain making up thoughts automatically. You need to know the difference between co-creating with the universe and making up stories. Co-creating with the universe, to create, you need to come from nothing. You cannot create on top of something. And making up stories, you create a reality for yourself where there is a lot of suffering. So the next one is you need to know the difference between suffering and pain. You need to know the difference between power and force. You need to be able to know how to get out of confusion into simplicity. Right? So that's the first secret. The first secret to be soul expressed is to be crystal clear about who is speaking. Is it your human on automatic, or is it your soul through your human speaking? Right? Second secret. Wow, that was difficult for my English. Second secret. Okay. You need to be committed to something much bigger than what you know. Okay. Let yourself hear what I say, right? You need to be committed to something much bigger than you can imagine, or that you have, or that you wish for. Much, much bigger. You need to be committed to be awakened all the time, everywhere, with everybody. You need to learn to channel your fear into the realization of your soul intention. It is not your human intention, it's your soul intention in incarnating you. You need to use the power, the fear of your human, the all of your humanity to accomplish that. You need to practice taking risks and be comfortable with not knowing and with uncertainty. You need to be authentic versus selling out to be liked. And you need to be willing and committed to provide leadership with everything it entails, right? Being lonely, being alone, being judged, being different, being looked at as weird. You need to be committed to not be one of the sleepwalkers. You need to access that desire in yourself for elevation. The moment you're committed, by the way, you're 50% of the way there. That's the good news. And then the third secret that I want to give you before we get into the exercise is that there is one necessary condition to being soul expressed, is that you have to surround yourself with like-minded people. You need to give up the illusion that you can do it by yourself. You need a supportive community to inspire you and inspire them. Can't do it by yourself. If you're still in the space that you don't need that community, you will not reach the level of being soul expressed. See, your community will then demand of you to be extraordinary. You know, I have absolutely no chance in my life to be ordinary for more than 30 seconds without somebody hitting me on the head. Now, most people will find that tiring, right? But left to my own device, I'll be a slob. So my community calls me into being. This community will listen to you. When you need to be listened to without any feedback, they will. When you need feedback, they will give it to you. They will be a mirror for you. Most human beings suffer from not being listened to, you know. So you need to create that community. That community will relate to you as who you really are. Not as you're human, not that your human has anything wrong with it. But when someone knows how magnificent you are, your smallness in your human, there is space for it. And you are called forth beyond the limit of what you think you have. Okay. So let me just tell you the 3 secrets and see if you have a comment or a question. You need to be clear about what is running your life. Is it your human in automatic by itself, or is it your soul expressed through your human? You need to be committed to awaken, meaning to experience your soul intention in incarnating you. And the third one is you need to surround yourself with a community that will hold you to account for being extraordinary. Those are the 3 secrets to soul expression. Okay, what do you hear and what are your questions? No questions, I must be very clear. Yeah, Pat, go ahead.
All right,
Thank you for participating.
In the past, I've had this experience in 2 different communities. One, you know, a transformative organization, one, some the Catholic Church sometimes. So I have an idea of what you're talking about. I mean, I've had the experience, but it's keeping that experience and keeping that experience and creating a new community to do that with. That's the hard part.
Yeah, indeed, Pat, but because you had it before, and I gather that you don't have it now, you see the difference, right?
Yes. Yeah, oh, yes.
You see the difference. So I know you wrote me an email asking me if you should register in the seminar, Pat. I can't choose for you, my dear, but my answer is, of course you must, but only if you do it. Don't keep registering in my courses and not do them. But you will find the community there, darling. You will. You know, that's why I love those courses so much, is that we have a conversation that is so profound all the time. It's really fun and safe. Okay, anybody else? Question, comment, insight? Clive?
I definitely agree that the community is so powerful, because I've had times where I have not been engaged in community and I go south very quickly when I'm on my own. So the community is crucial. And to have someone like you with all your experience does make a huge difference. I will acknowledge that.
Yeah, thank you, Clive. And I love being in our community together. I really want to tell you, it's delicious, give and take, and it's so balanced and so delicious. And thank you always for your contribution. I just love that what I call my student becomes actually, you know, teachers. We give and take from each other. It's really great. That's a real community, right?
I would like to add that it's so inspiring to watch your seminars and your teachings, and I feel really honored joining this community. And for the last year, like I would say, I've been like my path been significantly changing, and it's just I'm looking forward to see what's going to come out, because I have so many shifts right now in my life, and just having someone to have conversations with and feeling your support, it's absolutely invaluable.
Yeah,
and I already signed up for the course.
Yay, Olga. You know, Olga, I wasn't doing the seminars until Abby said to me, you know, Sophie, because Abby has been working with me for 3 years, right? She was first a student and then she became my work partner, right? She's director of operation. And she said one day, she said, Sophie, I just wish everybody could be your assistant, because I have transformed even more by talking to you every week than I have in the course, right? And that's where the idea of the seminar came, because it does take time to rewire your brain, right? So that's why we keep doing the seminars. Olga says, for people like you that did the main course, then after that, you just keep expanding in the conversation and in the community. So I can't wait to see you on the 10th of July.
I'm excited.
Great.
Looking forward.
Great. Suela, I don't know if you're arranging your hair or if you want to speak. Oh, I don't hear you. Oh. It's funny because now you're muted and now you're unmuted, but I don't hear you. Are they? Let's see. No. Oh,
Well, try your, if you go to preferences in your Zoom area, you might be able to find a section that says audio and make sure everything's turned on. Oh, and you can type in the chat if that doesn't work, and I can speak for you.
all right. You connecting?
Oh,
to
it's happening.
Oh, go ahead. No.
No.
All right, Suela, try it and type in the chat. I'm so sorry. I would
Type in the chat and I'll speak on your behalf.
All right, everybody. So shall we do the exercise so that we can rate ourselves on our level of self-expression? Okay, so everybody takes a piece of paper and a pen. And if you're listening on Facebook, do the same. And by the way, you know, it's not about looking good, right? We please tell the truth. And I am doing the exercise with you. So we go. So we're going to rate ourselves on a scale of 0 to 10. And there is 10 questions to answer for yourself. So if you are off the chart, of course, it's working for you, you put 10. And if you are really failing and, not coping, you give yourself a 1. You cannot go minus, okay? Even if you feel like it. So it's either 1 or 10. 10 is like the master Olympic level, or anything in between. And at the end, we will add the number you gave to each question, and then you will know your level of soul expression. And the maximum score is 100. And if there is somebody that gets 100 on this call, come and work with me. You need it. No, I'm joking. All right. Okay. So first question. One of the beneficial effects of being soul expressed is the thriving career. So thriving that it doesn't occur as work to you. It is truly what you love to do. So rate yourself as far as your career is concerned on a scale of 1 to 10. And if you're not working, you must have a hobby or something that you love very much to do in your life. You should use that to rate yourself. Okay, so career, rate yourself 1 to 10. All right. Now, financial, a swelling bank account, meaning you might not have much in it, but it's swelling. It is expanding. It is going the right way, right? So what is the state of your bank account? Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. Oh, that's difficult, right? How do you rate yourself with that one? Is it what you wish you had, or is it swelling? Do you rate the movement, or do you rate the results? A swelling bank account. All right, like both, right? You have to find a way to do both. Okay. Third one, do you have flourishing relationships? Right? So all relationships, not only romantic relationships, friends, family, people in the street, at work, are your relationship filled with ease and grace and connection? Do you relate to human as human or as things? Right? That's another way to look at it. Do you go and produce a result and forget about relatedness? Or are you very much aware that we are one? And you have this delicious way to relate to people. All right. All right, I like the next one. Resilience. So I always tell everybody, right? Life is a very, very difficult school. Very difficult school. It's one of my teachers said to me, oh, the earth is only for very advanced soul, because it's really tough, right? There is an enormous amount of circumstances to deal with. So how are you coping? What is your level of resilience? Are you indomitable? Are you totally functioning as a human? And you just never stop and you a champion? Or are you battling on a scale of 1 to 10? Your resilience. All right. Another side effect of being soul expressed is a blissful peace of mind, right? So are you someone that has peace of mind? How is the noise in your head? Does it keep you up at night? Do you get nervous, anxious, agitated, or are you the kind of person that whatever chaos is going on around you, you stay centered? This blissful peace of mind where there is nothing wrong, because you have this relationship with the universe, like, oh, you have this faith that it's always perfect. Rate yourself 1 to 10. All right, next one. One of the side effects of being soul expressed is that you are irresistibly I can't say that word, mesmerizingly charismatic, right? So somebody that is charismatic is somebody that is irresistible, meaning nothing to resist. You know those people, they walk in the room and suddenly the energy in the room shifts. People that are charismatic are people that are present. They are in the moment right now. They never have a place to get to. You know, sometimes you talk to people and you know they're thinking about the shopping they have to go and do. They're not listening to you. That is not charismatic. When you speak to a charismatic person, you feel like you are the most important person in the world, and that person really cares for what you have to say. That is one of the benefits of self-expression, this charisma, this presence. Rate yourself. Pat is in agony.
Well, well, that one's interesting because I
Yeah.
do have different experience sometimes. I did a few days ago, so
All right, the next one is a bit different and might be surprising for you, but one of the side effects of being soul expressed is this extraordinary courage that you can generate at will. So, you know, nobody is born courageous, right? You need to generate courage. You only need courage if there is fear. You obviously don't need courage if there is no fear. But as I said, life is a very difficult school, and courage is one of the qualities when you are soul expressed that will have you take risk and be in action. So rate yourself as far as your ability to generate courage. All right. And then there is how can I speak it? It's not telling the truth, like vomiting on people, right? That's not what I'm talking about. You know, when I'm always concerned when I say you need to tell the truth, is that people are going to start being so irresponsible and say, you know, it's a little bit what people do with a free speech, right? They say whatever comes through their mind and they just vomit on everybody. That is not what I'm talking about. There is a place where taking a stand, not a position, right? Position is righteous. There is a place where taking a stand, standing for what works, standing for equanimity, standing for care, standing for love, where you are unstoppable, unabashed, you will not tolerate less than that. like the absence of love, for example, you will say something about it. That's what I talk, taking a stand. You know, I was in New York on the 4th of July a few years back, and the bus was crowded coming back from the firework, but really crowded, like it can only be in New York, right? And it was hot. And so I managed to squeeze in the bus, and there was a couple of very old people looking very frail that got in with me. And there was 2 young people sitting down on their bottom, not even thinking of getting up to leave those couple sitting down, right? I took a stand. I nailed those young people. I didn't just say to them, get up. I said, shame on you that you won't even have enough awareness to know when somebody needs to sit down, right? So once a teacher, always a teacher. So I had half of the bus cheering for me and half of the bus insulting me. Welcome to New York. But I tell you what, the 2 older people sat down. They didn't say anything. They just looked at me, and the gratefulness in their eyes, it was like a hug for me. It was all I needed. So yes, I was embarrassed. Yes, I stood out. Yes, I got insulted. Yes, but for the look in the eye, it was worth it, right? So rate yourself in taking a stand. Another way you could speak it is, are you true to yourself? To the point of discomfort. Are you saying what needs to be said? You know, are you, for example, tolerating somebody drinking too much in your family and you're not saying anything? All right. And then the last one is, I said to you that my favorite effect of being soul expressed is intuition, right? I actually have the experience sometimes of channeling and downloading. It's absolutely delicious. I'm training Abby and some other people to lead my courses, and they come back with questions at me and they say, how did you know that? How did you know that? And I say to them, I have no idea. It's not my human, it comes from somewhere else, right? So how are you with your intuition? Do you experience being protected, guided? Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know how to recognize what is an automatic thought or a story that you believe, an intuition? Do you dance with life, or do you force life? You know, if you encounter a door that is closed, do you take a hammer and break it down, or do you wait until you find an open door? Trusting your intuition that everything will turn out, right? So rate yourself as far as your intuition is concerned. I'm putting a 6 because I have a lot of it, but I want more. I don't know if that's the way to do this exercise, but there it is. All right. So let me read the questions again, right? So we had your career, which must occur, like you can't wait to go to work, right? To be a 10. Your bank account, swelling or not swelling, is it where you want it to be? Your relationships, are they with ease and grace or not? Your resilience in the face of life circumstances and whatever happens to you. Your peace of mind, the noise in your head, the trusting the universe. How is your charisma? Being present in the present moment, knowing the illusion of the past and the future. Are you someone that knows how to generate courage? Are you true to yourself? Don't sell out. Take a stand. And are you intuitive? Do you trust your intuition? Are you guided by your intuition. All right, let's add it. What do you have? I have 76. What do you have? Abby? You don't know how to add?
I do. I'm working on it. I do. Hold on. I'm almost there. It equals 100, right? At the back end.
Yep.
7.
How many? How much?
7.
67. Okay, Pat.
I'm still making up my mind here.
All right, hang on. Clive, what do you have?
I counted 9 questions. Did you perhaps leave out one?
Yeah.
'Cause you
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're right. Oh my God.
Okay, I was wondering that too.
All right,
And then
all right,
I
hang
skipped
on.
one.
1,
Okay, great.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Which one did I leave out?
Sophie, was taking a stand and true to yourself, are those two different ones, or is that the same
No,
one?
that's the same one. Taking a stand and being true to yourself. That's
Okay, then
okay.
I
Hang on, hang on. I've got them written down. A thriving career, 1. A swelling bank account, 2. Flourishing relationships, 3. Resilience, 4. Peace of mind, 5. Charisma, 6. Courage, 7. Oh, I missed that one. All right, add one more. Of course, one of the side effects, well done, Clive, of being self-expressed is knowing. So let me explain. It's not intellectually knowing. It's like an inner unwavering conviction that allows you to make choices. Right? Do you know how you don't, should I do that? Shouldn't I do that? Is that the right way to go? Is that the, but when you are fully soul connected and soul expressed, if you wait, then you get this experience of this internal conviction that is totally unwavering, that allows you to choose without doubt and without knowing, but it's a conviction, right? So I called it knowing, but don't call it knowing, call it inner conviction so that it's clearer. So rate yourself about that. Oh, wow, I'm getting more. Okay.
So can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you. Yay.
Can you hear me finally? Okay, I think
Yay,
so I do have 9. So career, and then bank account, then relationship, resilience, peace of mind, charisma, generate courage, intuition, and knowing.
And then true to yourself.
Knowing and
true
true
to
to
yourself.
10.
Yeah.
And then 10 true to yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
So knowing again is like knowing where.
You know, Suela, my father was sick 2 years ago, and I had just spent 3 months in France. I was living in New York. It was during COVID. I got back to New York City. It was really hard. I had to go 2 weeks in quarantine in another country. I mean, the whole thing, it was a pain, really difficult. I arrived in New York. 2 days later, my sister called me and said, you have to come back.
Oh, okay.
And I sat, right? Because I obviously, you know, my work was a bit on hold and it was a whole thing. I sat connected, like in a kind of meditative space, because I did not know what to do. My human didn't know what to do, right? And then I got this conviction, this inner knowing, yes, you have to go back. I went back and my dad died 6 weeks later.
And you saw him and you spent time with him. Yes.
Yeah. The last
Okay.
6 weeks of his life, I was with him.
Yeah.
And I knew to go back, not by the circumstances in the world, but by this inner conviction.
Okay. Knowing inner conviction. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I moved up to 81.
Yeah, I'm not scoring well.
Where are you at, Suela?
I would probably say 45.
All right. Will you please register in the seminar right now at the end of this call? Suela, otherwise I'll come and haunt you in your dreams. All right, Olga, where are you at?
I am at 69, and I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
What is the difference between intuition and knowing? Aren't those pretty
Very
much the
good.
same?
Very good. No, not at all.
Mm.
You need to know the difference between your intellect and your intelligence. Okay, so intellect, you learn. You learn what other people knew before you. You can develop your intellect. You can go and study. You can train. You can gather a lot of knowledge. That's the intellect, right? There are some people that are really good, right?
True.
Intelligence comes from the spiritual. So it's intelligence is not it's like Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Mother Teresa, I mean all those people that we respect and admire so much. They had this intelligence to see human being as human being, to care. They were generous, selfless, and they were human. That is the universal intelligence. So the intuition comes from intelligence. You can be very, very intellectual and have not much intelligence. I am sure you met some people that way. They operate really quite brilliantly in the material world, but as far as relatedness is concerned, and love and care and generosity and consciousness, intelligence missing. Is that clearer, Olga?
Yes.
Great.
Makes perfect sense. Thank you.
You're welcome. Jason, I haven't seen you for months.
Hi,
I
Jason.
have been busy. Hello, everybody.
Yes, congratulations on your new single, right? It's a single?
I have a single, I have a book. I started a YouTube channel. I'm still doing organizing, got a new client. Yeah.
Jason, okay,
Yes.
can we take credit for it? Can the community take some credit from it?
Yeah, I'll tell you what happened. There was at some point, I just got tired of hearing bullshit. And
From you mean? Or from
just
others?
from me, from other people, just like the consciousness that was around me. And I'm not sure what happened. I really don't remember at this point, but there was a moment after I turned 46, which was back in November, that I wanted to live a life in public, is how I said it, not in my head, in public. And then something just sort of snapped, and I was like, I can't deal with the bullshit. And I just got clear that I have to speak my mind. I went from
Great.
being a
Well
listener
done. Yeah.
to being someone who's communicating and talking.
Well done, Jason. I'm really inspired. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being on this call. Do you have a question? Because you just came in, so you missed the exercise, or?
Jason has
No,
been hanging out with us on Facebook Live.
I was
Oh, you
on Facebook.
have? So
Yeah.
you didn't, oh, wow.
I was being a little sneaky.
All right.
I wasn't gonna really stay the whole time, but I happened to have a minute before my next thing, so I thought to jump on. But yeah, I was listening on Facebook. I got what did I get? No, it was
I think
67.
I see 76.
Oh,
Jason.
76. Yeah. 76, ironically, the year I was born. And I don't take those kind of coincidences lightly because they've been happening all over the place. So my question was, and then maybe you answered, but I just want to be clear. When you're talking about intelligence, is that the same as universal consciousness or human consciousness, or are you talking about universal intelligence as something different than consciousness?
Well, very good question. Okay, so I'm teaching humans, and I'm a human being, and I'm not a human being. I'm a soul incarnated in a human being, but I have a human, right? So when I talk about intellect and intelligence, I'm talking at the level of human, right? So if you are a human being and you can develop your intellect, because that is a gift we have. We have a cortex and a brain, and you can just develop your intellect. To develop your intelligence, you need the connection with the spiritual, right? As a human, you need, and that always includes intuition, guidance, and access to the universal memory, the universal knowledge. So, but it's expressed in your human as intelligence at the level of human, right? So to have what it is, sometimes people ask me what it is to have a soul expressed life or a successful life. It's when you really, your soul is expressed through your human, then you've succeeded at this core. When you soul express, your human is the avatar on this planet in distance, time, and form to express your soul intention. There it is. You've graduated, right? You know, and you know those people, right? Gandhi is my hero, right? So I always refer to him, but he had no place to get to, nothing to prove, no authority, no title, no money. He was wearing kind of nappies and, you know, I mean, really, he didn't have anything to prove to anyone. He was, and head of state were bowing to him. You know, he was worldly revered and respected, right? That is being soul expressed. It's irresistible. Great question, Jason. Thank you very much.
Sophie, I have some folks that are with us online that have shared their scores.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
Dima's with us. Hi, Dima, 74. And Emma and Kim are here. And I think, Emma, are you 68 and Kim is 50? I think that's what it looks like. Emma, 68. Yeah, okay. Kim, 50. And we have some others here with us. So those of you that are hanging out with us on Facebook Live, thank you, Danielle and others. Thanks for hanging out with us.
And is there any questions, Abby?
I don't see any questions, but everyone, if you do have questions, I'm very happy to read them for you.
All right. So everybody, you know, this exercise, wherever you are at, right, there is always the next level. I have a friend that says hashtag, there is always more. But those are the side effects of being soul expressed, right? So we don't have a pill to boost your self-confidence. And the only way to have those results in your life is to actually practice awareness, right? And like I said to you, the 3 secrets: be in a community, talk about it, commit to it. It's not going to happen to you if you don't take action, right? So as we don't have a pill to boost your soul confidence and get you connected, I'm inviting you to register for the 4-session seminar. It's 1 hour and 15 minutes for 4 weeks. And this is what we will talk about until you have breakthroughs and you practice being soul expressed and you live aligned with your soul essence. So it starts on Monday. It's every Monday, for Monday, July 10th. It finishes on July 31st. So if you're taking your vacation in August, like all of Europe, you'll be done by July 31st. Okay? It is at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's recorded if ever you miss a session, but you won't want to miss a session. But in case you miss a session, you can watch the recording. You have access to the recording forever, well, at least until I'm around. And did I forget anything, Abby?
I don't think so, Sophie, not that I can think of.
All right. Well,
Oh,
I think
one thing.
yes.
Seminars are quite a lot like this. There's a lot of interaction. Sophie teaches and shares, but there's so much interaction, and we all work together and have a lovely time together. So just so you know, this is a very similar experience.
Great. All right. Anybody wants to say anything to complete this call on self-expression? And everybody watching on Facebook, thank you, thank you, thank you. Pat.
Yeah, I'm going to sign up with you because I will say this. I scored myself at 29, but I had 2 days this week where I got out of my normal circumstances and went to New York City. And one time there were some people there who knew me from a past great experience, and the scores went up for that day. And Wednesday I went and I was with strangers, and I had a totally amazing experience at one of them and a fun at the other one. And so I realized when I get out of this unfortunate circumstance I've wound up in, everything elevates. So it's a matter of making that more permanent.
Great. So raise
And
your right
finding-
hand. Raise your right hand.
Yeah,
I promise
I promise.
that if I register for the seminar, I will show up.
When I register for the seminar, I will show up.
All right. Good girl. Great, Pat. I look forward to having you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Going once? Going twice? Clive, anything for you? I know you're registered for the seminar as well, which is really great.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
Great.
Always going to the next level, and being around you, Sophie, it always happens. So I'm very much looking
Yeah.
forward.
I really got it down to myself. You either expand or you contract, but you never stay still. So we might as well expand, everybody, right? Suela, I'm so happy you managed to do your sound.
Yes, I was able to fix it finally.
Yeah, and you have the most adorable son.
Thank you. I thank you. He's 3 years old now.
Oh,
3 years old. Yeah.
Cute.
Time just flies by so fast.
Yeah, it
It
does.
just feels like yesterday. I wanted to talk to you about something just got my attention. The one about the soul. You talked. I know maybe you don't have time now, but I just want you to just highlight that again about the soul, when we your soul purpose or something you mentioned before.
All right.
That
So
was the second one, the second secret.
the second secret.
The second secret. The
Right.
first secret, yeah.
The second secret is to being committed to something bigger than what you
Yeah.
think is possible, right? So it's bigger than your character, bigger than what you used to, bigger than your comfort, bigger than what you know, bigger than your certainty, is to be really committed to realize the illusion inside of which most human beings are trapped. And that is called awakening. It's not being enlightened, right? Being enlightened is like Buddha, right? Well, I'm not talking about that, but being awakened is when you question and you practice awareness so much that you shake up your certainty about being a human. And my entire works is based on the quote from a French mystic called Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, who said, "You are not a human being having a spiritual experience, you're a spiritual being having a human experience."
Okay, you've mentioned that a couple of times. Yes.
Yeah, it's a whole key to being awakened. If you don't say, "I have a soul," but you say, "I am my soul," I have a human, and it alters your entire experience of being alive.
Yes. That is very, I would say profound, as you always say, it's profound. Yes.
Good. Everybody, I really thank you for this time. I enjoy talking to you. I'm excited for the seminar, and I thank you for your contribution. And truly, truly, I love you. It's just like when I'm with you, love arises. I'm swimming in it. It's enough for me to see you and talk to you for love to arise. So I thank you, I honor you, and I'll see you around the campus.
Thank you, Sophie.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
I cannot stop recording on Facebook.
Oh, let's see.